everyone, Pratima here, and today I'll be going through my top picks for the best budget earbuds under 3000 rupees in India right now. I think the 3000 rupees price range is kind of like a good Goldilocks zone to get you the best value. For this video, I have brought all the TWS that you can find on Amazon and Flipkart under 3000 rupees, and I found the best 7 earbuds for you. Like always, I've ranked all these earbuds across different categories, so let me kick things off with this guy, the Skull Candy Dime 3. And this one is something not everyone's going to like because number one, it does not have app support for better customizability. Number two, it has press controls instead of touch controls, which is frankly quite annoying to use and confusing to memorize. And number three, it also lacks active noise cancellation. But if you want a clean sound and a unique design over everything else, there are a few earbuds under 3000 rupees that do as good a job as the Dime 3. I like how Skull Candy went with a neutral, balanced kind of tuning that works with almost all genres of songs. It presents a wide soundstage with good separation, crisp mids, and fairly sparkly trebles too. I'll admit the Dime 3 does not have the strongest bass response even after switching to the bass boost mode by awkwardly clicking this tiny button 4 times in a row. But if that's the kind of tuning you like, it's going to be a great fit for your ears. Its charging case is equally charming if you ask me. As you can see, the way the buds sit into this cute little lanyard, it's really a cool design compared to pretty much everything else that I have here. And is it just me, or does anybody else think that this thing also looks like those frogs from Naruto when you look at it from certain angles? Anyway, if you just cannot live without bass, check out the new Boat Nirvana Space. Unlike the Skull Candy Dime 3, this thing has been tuned the exact opposite way, with a lot of bass. Actually too much bass for my musical taste, to be honest, since it does not leave much room for other frequencies to shine at all, especially the mid frequencies. Thankfully though, Boat gives me 2 options to customize the audio here. So first, there is this adaptive EQ, which is a hearing aid test that tries to adjust based on my hearing ability. It worked nicely to restore some of the details in the treble region for me, but I had the best luck with creating a custom equalizer by myself. It still sounds a bit thin with a somewhat narrow soundstage, although I have to say that this is a big improvement over that bloated kind of default tuning. The Nirvana Space even has 360-degree spatial audio if you like that surround sound effect in everything you listen to, but honestly, I've never really been a fan of such tech. Then again, I've got to say the active noise cancellation on the Boat Nirvana Space is pretty impressive for the price. So is its microphone quality and battery life, since Boat promises a ridiculous 100 hours of playback time with the case. Next up, I have the Oppo Enco Air 2 Pro, and I'm actually pretty shocked to see a pair of Oppo earbuds this far down my list because they usually sit in the top 3 position. But considering its price and all the competition that we have got right now, this is where the Enco Air 2 Pro naturally ended up. Here, its strongest suit is the audio quality itself. It's perfectly pleasant to listen to. However, as I tested different types of songs, I found a couple of interesting quirks about its sound. So number one, Oppo has packed quite a bit of bass on this guy, but because of this, its soundstage feels kind of boxed in, and also how vocals aren't as detailed or transparent in certain types of electronic or synth pop songs where you have lots of instruments in the mix. The Enco Air 2 Pro sounds better than the Boat Nirvana Space by a little margin, but I just expected, more from Oppo at this point. There's also no way to customize its sound other than by using the built-in presets. Its noise cancellation and transparency mode aren't the best for the price either. So yeah, I guess now you can see why the Air 2 Pro is where it is. Alright, the CMF Buds Pro is another great pair of earbuds under 3000 rupees for you to consider. And unlike the Enco Air 2 Pro, I love how it manages to nicely lay out vocals alongside that thumpy bass and the high frequency beats that are also fairly well reproduced. I still feel like CMF could have done a slightly better job in terms of the clarity, but it's not that big of a deal honestly, and of course I can set a custom equalizer if I want here. The CMF Buds Pro's active noise cancellation is also probably among the best in this segment, as it manages to shush out all the consistent low frequency ambient noises pretty effectively. But the one thing I immediately noticed is how the audio degrades every time I listen to something with ANC turned on. It's most noticeable when setting noise cancellation's effectiveness to high, and yeah, that absolutely sucks. Going from enjoyably balanced to bafflingly boomy sound. Which means I have to constantly make a trade-off between getting the best sound out of the CMF Buds Pro or getting some peace and quiet with noise cancellation. So if you don't want to go through all of that hassle, then the Realme Buds Air 6 could be a great choice instead. I found its noise cancellation to be marginally but still notably better than the CMF Buds Pro, and I get to enjoy my day listening to music without worrying about turning on ANC and getting that degraded audio quality. And I've got to say that the Buds Air 6 is also among the better sounding earbuds that I have on my list, mostly because of its V-shaped tuning that's perfect for modern day music. Whether you listen to a lot of rock music or a lot of hip-hop tracks or even groove to some lo-fi beats. But jazz and classical music and anything with a lot of high-frequency instruments, the Realme Buds Air 6 sounds shouty and sibilant in the treble region, which means consonant sounds like s, sh or t come off a little too sharp here. This is something I noticed even on pop songs like Yellow by Coldplay, for instance. By the way, if you ever want to make me jealous, just comment below that you got a ticket to Coldplay's India tour and that will basically do it. Anyway, jokes aside, if you want better trebles here, you can create a custom equalizer by lowering the 4, 8 and 16 kHz region by a couple of decibels, and that should do the trick. The Buds Air 6 Pro also supports LHDC codec for high-res playback. Its battery life is pretty decent and its microphone quality is pretty decent too. So yeah, this is definitely a great pick under 3,000 rupees. Okay, so in the number 2 position of the best wireless earbuds under 3,000 rupees is the Redmi Buds 5. I'd say this one is similar to the Realme Buds in terms of the sound quality in a lot of ways. The Redmi Buds 5 also has that same energetic V-shaped sound suitable for most genres. It also gets plenty loud, and at high volumes, this thing also comes off a bit sibilant as the Realme Buds. Actually, I was expecting that Xiaomi would have given me a way to create a custom equalizer, but there are only a bunch of pre-built EQs in the app, and that's it. The noise cancellation, however, is pretty decent. Not quite effective as the Buds Air 6, but gets the job done. Now, you may be wondering why I have ranked the Redmi Buds 5 higher than the Realme Buds if it's slightly behind at both sound and ANC, right? Well, I've got 2 reasons for this. Number 1, the battery life over here is very good, and number 2, it is better value for money. So if you aren't too nitpicky about your audio the way I am and just want something that gets the basics right, the Redmi Buds 5 for some 2,200 rupees is pure value. Again, I don't want to say this is better than the Realme Buds Air 6, but this guy's microphone quality is definitely better. It manages to quiet down the noise around me in a much better way. Okay, that brings me to the OnePlus Nord Buds 3 Pro, which is my best/number 1 pick under 3,000 rupees right now. I have to say, this is an incredibly well-rounded pair of earbuds that checks a lot of boxes. From the sound to noise cancellation, microphones and battery life, I have absolutely loved using these earbuds. The Nord Buds 3 Pro is actually just a rebranded version of the excellent Oppo Enco Air 4 Pro, but without the high-res LHDC 5.0 codec and with all the customization options. I especially like how balanced its sound is, how spacious its soundstage is, and I also like how well it handles all the dynamics in pretty much any given track. There is a slight but noticeable boost in the bass region, but I kind of like how it complements the overall listening experience, like how the bass line isn't overdone and everything feels fairly well resolved, including the mid frequencies. And the best part is that you can already find the Nord Buds 3 Pro at a discounted price these days, down from 3,300 rupees to just 2,800 rupees. So yeah, if you want a pair of budget earbuds that's great at a lot of stuff, this is it. By the way, there's also a cheaper Nord Buds 3 if you can live with slightly worse noise cancellation and slightly worse call quality, but I think paying a little more for the Pro variant is totally worth it. Alright everybody, that is all for my best slash top picks for the best budget earbuds under 3000 rupees in India right now. And by the end of this video, I hope you now have a crystal clear idea about which one you should go with. I have loads of other exciting videos lined up next, so make sure that you're subscribed to Gadget Bite if you don't want to miss it out. Till then, I'm Pratima Adhikari and I will see you in the next one.